Alright, hey guys, this is Ornlu, and I am not streaming right now. This is just a recording, because apparently the beta's going offline tomorrow, and I want to be able to at least play another couple or so of these historical battles. So you guys can keep watching them, and this one, let's do Vinlandsaga, shall we? Finish off the Viking duet here.
In the gloom, the longhouse feels empty, but it is filled with the odors of rust, tar, and animal fur, and the snoring of dogs. It is the man named Eric who speaks, smacking scarred fingers together for emphasis, the steam of his breath mingling with the wood smoke. He fills the men's heads with legends of exploration and raiding, of a sea that eats longbows, and an undiscovered country ripe for Viking occupation. He tells the Vikings that they can leave their frigid homeland and sail across the endless sea of worms to a new world brimming with wild grain, grapes, and tall trees. To the Vikings, he speaks of paradise, and of course the grizzled Norsemen are always eager for adventure. When he asks for volunteers, men slam their weapons on tables and shout his name in the cold air. Eric the Red smiles.
Hooray! For the Vikings! Okay, so we gotta transport Eric the Red across the ocean, and of course he has to survive. Compared to AOC, we now have a population limit of 100, which is pretty nice. Also, it says we start in Iceland, even though the map looks exactly like Norway. So let's get right into this.
It has been a hard winter. The wolves are hungry. We must protect our villages from their packs.
Frickin' wolves, man. Ornlu a wolf. So, I've said this several times on stream, but I have played this on DE already. Once. As I have played all of the Age of Kings and Age of Conquerors campaigns. But I did not stream it, and I wanted to be able to be in a good position to highlight the differences, just because I am such a campaign nerd. So I can, you know, do my best here to not only show you off all the new campaigns and their pretty graphics, or rather the reduxes of the old campaigns. Well, doing both, but you guys get the idea. Okay, dickweed? Okay. Yep. That's not something that happened in the original. Frickin' lamers. Of course, we're in the Dark Age, so we don't have Loom. It's one of the few scenarios that you ever start in the Dark Age. So we'll just use our berserks here to scout. There aren't any sheep or anything, so we just have to use these random patches of deer. And of course, the big thing with Vinlandsaga is, on top of, you know, you having to sail across the ocean and stuff, you have to, you don't have any gold income, rather. So you're stuck using the market a fair bit, but you have to do some colonizing and some raiding and stuff if you want to be able to sustain resources. So our first task is going to be to raid the Britons, which is, I believe it renamed. I think it was just British in AOC. But I guess the British weren't really, like, a thing. It was more like the Britain, I guess, tribe or whatever. I don't know. I'll just not pretend to know about the Dark Ages in Europe. So we'll just finish exploring quote-unquote Iceland. Again, looks exactly like Norway. Housed, of course. We do have 3 tiles of stone, though. We are, of course, playing on hard difficulty. I think in standard you might have had more stone or something. I don't remember. I don't really play. I mean, I haven't played these on standard in a very long time. Because, at least the old AOC campaigns, most of them were fairly easy. So at least you can try and make them at least a little bit more challenging where possible. Anyway, we'll put a mill over here now. There's some shorefish here we can take. I'm afraid this doesn't have the most interesting start of any campaign. But I think overall it's still a fan favorite, which is why I'm doing it. Because who doesn't like the Sea of Worms? Also, I'm not going to try and cheese this mission or anything by like just running Eric over Greenland in a villager to build a dock or whatever. We're doing this the legit way. To show you guys everything that this scenario has to offer as best we can. And there's a couple new little Easter eggs that I don't know if all of them were intentional, but we'll get to that. There's going to be some fun surprises here. I did not plan for this. Send a villager to build a dock, get some fishing ships. Fishing chips, fishing ships. So, this scenario, now that we have the increased pop limit to 100 as opposed to 75 back in AOC, it's gonna feel a lot more, just a lot nicer. We can actually have more of an economy. It's not nearly as annoying. So let's go ahead and build a dock. Like, look at the minimap, guys. This does not look like Iceland. This looks like, you know, Norway. But whatever. It's, historically, Eric the Red did set out from Iceland, and for some reason Iceland is missing in the original AOC, so instead of actually just adding in Iceland, like as a piece of land between, you know, Norway here, Iceland would have been here, and then Greenland's here in the north, they just decided to have a start in Iceland. But not redesign the map.
We'll need gold, and lots of it. There's plenty in the fishing villages of Britain for the taking.
You bet, even though it's only one fishing village. Well, hey, we'll take it. And we can get quite a few fishing ships out. Also, Eric the Red, a bit of an updated portrait. He is no longer... I guess he always had the unique portrait. Or, like, it's the same one that him and, like, El Cid had and Harold Hadrada, if I recall correctly. But it is updated. Might as well show you guys. Yeah, might as well mill over here as well. Already have a lot of lumberjacks. Now, if I recall correctly, which I hope I would, considering I played this maybe a week ago, the fish are really randomly dispersed around here. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I think there's like a couple fish down here that are like right next to each other, but there's like no fish here. It's all a little strange. Let's build another dock over here. Remember, can't stray too far from shore though, otherwise we'll get eaten by the Sea of Worms. Which will literally kill you if you don't, if you're not careful. So hopefully we'll be getting up to feudal age pretty soon here. Now that we have a robust fishing fleet. And housed, of course. Pro player here, by the way. And as soon as that villager's done, we can queue up Feudal Age. Of course, another new DE feature right there. We can queue units alongside technologies. Well, I mean, just queue anything alongside technologies. You couldn't do that in HD or AOC or whatever. So we'll put down a barracks so we can get ready to raid the Britons as soon as we hit Feudal Age, and just kind of hope that Greenland doesn't attack us. I mean, they already lamed us earlier. Shouldn't have to attack us again. Bastards. Let's get a few more fishing ships. Yeah, might as well just send these villagers to take the stone. Our mineral resources are just so limited here. We just gotta take what we can get. And we do start with 200 gold, so it's not like we don't have any gold. We just don't have anything to mine. So, usually the way that you can do this is just by building a couple transports. And then Britain, if you guys don't know your geography, it's down here. It'd be Scotland, actually. So we're just going to make some archers and some skirmishers, because the Britons only have a few archers with which to defend themselves. Also, what we gotta do, gonna have to have some sacrificial lamb, so to say, is because in this scenario, once you build a blacksmith, I appear in my own person, or wolf person. And yeah, that's once you build a blacksmith.
Hear that howling? That one's the king of the wolves. He
You bet I am.
down an army of our Norsemen.
And don't you forget it, boy. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna go attack this outpost. And he has like a bajillion attack. See, Ornlu, it's me. Hey guys, I hate outposts. And all those who espouse their propaganda of outposts. So we're unfortunately gonna have to send these villagers over to bait him, because he literally has like 50 plus attack or something. So yep. We're just gonna have to lure him over to the town center, because Ornlu takes bonus damage from, like, everything. See, even though I don't have any upgrades. Sorry, me. Suicide. I have around 20,000 idle villagers. Yeah, we're gonna add in a couple spearmen and make 5 skirmishers to take on the enemy archers, and then from that we won't really have to be spending any gold that we don't have to be spending. Because that's really the goal here, is to minimize our gold consumption. But once we raid Britain, we'll have plenty to get us at least over to we'll be able to get up to the Castle Age, and then be able to get to Greenland from there. Which is the next step in our saga. Our literal saga. Our Vinlandsaga. I forgot to turn on that, and I also forgot to research Horse Collar. And Bidaxe, because I'm a great player. May as well get all these guys. It's not like my eco balance is good enough to justify anything else. Til Bardaga. Classic line. So now that everyone's on board, go ahead and this is already the tip of Britain. I forget the name of these islands that are off the northern coast of Scotland, but they're right here. They're chilling because it's winter. I think we hunted all the deer on the island. Or island. Well, it is Iceland. So yeah, now I just gotta rely on wood and farming. And we'll sail down here because this is where the markets are. Oh yeah, they also have guard towers now. It's kind of weird because they don't have any upgrades for the guard towers. But they do have guard towers. But that's okay, we'll just park right under them. Might lose a spearman, whatever.
Burn all you can. Carry the gold back to our ships.
You bet we will. So yeah, they just have a few unupgraded archers, which is why we brought along these skirmishers. Not really going to be super scary. Zero upgrades. Plebs. Alright, that's literally their entire army. So now I just get to enjoy the very, very slow process of taking down this tower and the markets. Of course, I could have brought along some men-at-arms or something, but those cost gold, and we're not in the business of spending gold here. Do have to be careful, because Greenland will raid you in the not-too-distant future. Alright, now that that guy's down, we can focus on taking out these markets. I might as well get more villagers. For each market you destroy, you'll get some gold. I forget the exact numbers, but like, one market gives you a moderate amount of gold, and one gives you like, I think over 1,000 gold, if I recall correctly. Timberhoffmande. Go get him, Eric. It's like a ton of HP, but otherwise really mediocre stats. And... yeah, there we go. Alright, so there's 600 gold. That can get us up to Castle Age. Also, we can start getting out some galleys to repel any longboats that come attacking us from Norway, or from Greenland. We're in Norway. Actually, we're in Iceland. Just kidding. And of course, we are limited to the Castle Age in this scenario. Told you we needed those galleys. But so long as the fishing ships return to that dock, I think we're fine for now. But yeah, I see how like weirdly distributed the fish are. There's like 4 in this little area, and there's like none over here. Fishy, fishy. I guess that's how fish are actually distributed in real life, but, you know, screw realism. I want my good fishing. Yeah, that's actually not going to do anything. Oh, the heater is on. Whoops. And my heater's future is just like that little galley's. Hooray, Castle Age. Grab War Galley, and start making some longboats. Let's remember our eco upgrades this time. Yeah, they have good upgrades too. Oh yeah, we got both markets. Once we get rid of these enemy longboats, we will of course want to pick up careening, which will not only help our warships in fighting the enemy warships, but we'll be able to transport more units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is 7 of our own. We believe in the power of micro. Oh, they believe in the power of micro. Holy shit. Freaking AI micro, man. And we'll even get another transport, because we got a lot of villagers who have nothing to do with their lives. And that's no good, because there's work to be done, damn it. Sea of Worms ain't gonna cross itself. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I need to get careening. So we're not going to bring all of our villagers over. We're going to leave some behind, mostly just to gather from farms. But by and large, we're shipping everyone on over. Get it? Because it's a ship! A few more longboats. Got to hotkey those guys. Alright, careening should be done now. Yep. All aboard. And I got room for 5 more. Sorry, lady. Go chop a tree. To Greenland! Away! So Greenland's actually pretty tough. You can see their score is pretty high compared to ours. However, we will build a castle.
So this is the Isle of Greenland. We should be able to find food and wood here to replenish our fleet.
You tell him, Viking. Yep, just gotta be sure we don't sail too close to that castle. Greenland has a couple castles to deal with. But they don't have any rams or anything. They don't have siege of any kind. So when we build our own castle here, we will be well positioned. Treadmill cannon and masonry, because we get all the upgrades here. Castle done. Get a couple siege workshops a-rolling. Oh crap, I never got Bodkin. Whoopsies! Start making some berserks. Oh damn, they landed some berserks of their own. Bastards. Achievement unlocked Eternal Gratitude. You guys can't... Oh wait, you guys can see that because game capture isn't working. And this is where you'll see one of the first Easter eggs. We got a penguin! Why we have a penguin? I don't know, but we have a goddamn motherfucking penguin! This is a reference descriptor. Like, the unit in and of itself is a reference descriptor, because the scriptor 64, 16, and 4 are, you know, they're factors. That's the math word. Sorry, villagers, I got distracted by the fact that I have a frickin' penguin! Oh, don't tell me Don't tell me this motherfucker's trapped. God damn it. But look at this, he's a penguin! But yeah, anyway, the joke with Scriptor is that he always wanted an Antarctica expansion. So now we have Age of Penguins here. But yeah, like, exactly why there is a penguin located here on this map in this scenario, I have no idea. Anyway, we'll mess up some berserks, get some rams ready to take down Greenland. We put Eric in the castle just so, you know, I don't lose him accidentally. Because that's something I would do. It's also something Viper would do, but unlike Viper, we don't needlessly send in our heroes to die. We can avoid it. Cap. Send in some more villagers. Need to sell more resources. At least the AI don't seem to use the market here, so we can at least get semi-okay market prices for a while. Okay, this is 8 rams. That's a large number of rams. Grab arson, of course. Now, Greenland will be throwing at you berserks and men-at-arms. Maybe they upgrade them to longswordsmen, I don't remember. But mostly it's just berserks and longswordsmen and scorpions. So infantry and anti-infantry stuff. Now, annoyingly, they also really like to focus your rams. But that castle will be going down. Ship on over some more villagers. Oh yeah, let's build a town center over here, just to be safe. Now, there are 2, I think, reasonable steps we can take now, that we cleaned out that castle right there. We can either go for Greenland's main town and try and defeat them, or we can try and go to the south here where they have some gold and stone, and we can actually mine some resources for once. But we're bold, we're brave, we're going right for the town, where there is a town center and another castle. Berserk numbers aren't super great, but whatever. See, like, they're really focusing the rams, god damn it. And the reason I'm going for my own berserks here is, 1, we're Vikings, we're going for berserks, god damn it. And 2 is that we're, again, very, very limited in the gold front, so crossbowmen are not really going to be super great, since they cost a decent amount of gold. Oh, they have units in my base again. These goobers. But it's okay, we're going right for their main town. Which is, in the very, very, very incorrectly actual green Greenland. Like, look at all these trees. Greenland isn't full of forests. That's not how Greenland works. It's a misnomer. Really, this should all just be empty, barren glacier. Oh yeah, did I lose my penguin? I feel like I lost my penguin. Yeah, I definitely lost my penguin. Rip penguin, dude. Scriptor penguin. So now we've destroyed all of the main, buildings of Greenland. Just about wrapping up killing them. You don't actually have to defeat Greenland, but it makes your life easier. And defeating them gives you a little cool Easter egg. This one actually has a lot of Easter eggs in it. And of course, I want to show you guys any and all Easter eggs. Go ahead and get these villagers going, because like I said, down south, there's some golden stone for us to take. No, not a Minotaur. Yeah, they have a bunch of towers lining their coast. Just trying to kill whatever units they still have. Force them to resign. Anyway, here's some stone. We're even going to get gold mining upgrade, because we know that there's gold here. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not letting that happen. Anywho, there's the gold. There's not a ton of it, but plenty to get us over to the New World. Come on, Greenland, get out the game, man! LOL. Yeah, Norway's kind of screwed, but that's okay. It's just Norway. Or, I mean, Iceland. Sorry. Of course, let's mine the wood, where we have almost 6k of in our bank, instead of the gold, where we have almost none, or the stone, of which we have slightly more than none. There goes that. Let's just garrison these rams to make them... Ah, here we go.
Look upon it and despair.
So, now that we've defeated Greenland, and the Vikings, like, the Sea of Worms, they will now ally you, and because they've been exploring the map all game long, and they're unaffected by the Sea of Worms, you can look at the mini-map, guys. It's a literal dragon. This is in AOC as well, in case you never noticed it. But yeah, there's literally a worm, a dragon here that represents the no-no area for your ships. So yeah, that's really, really cool. I thought they did a really, really sweet job with that. Anyway, don't care about you guys. We have but one task left. That's to get our asses over to the New World. So build a couple docks over on the west side of Greenland. Rams we don't need anymore. Skirmishers we don't need, honestly. You guys served your purpose. Oh, and of course you do need Eric himself. Doi. It's weird how the idle villager button doesn't seem to update quickly. Got all that stuff. We're gonna get those guys for reasons that will become clear shortly. So yeah, we can just leave these villagers mining gold and stone. Just send these guys over to the New World. Probably make a few transports. Like a couple longboats for one last Easter egg. Actually, there's a couple more Easter eggs. Like I said, this one's full of Easter eggs. Has Eric gotten here yet? Where the hell are you, Eric? Did I even ever move you out? Well, here's a Berserk. God damn it, I lost Eric the Red. Not as in he died, I just can't find him. All you guys are worthless. Sail into the Sea of Worms. Here you are, Eric. I found you. You're not Eric. I never got Fletching or Bodkin. There you are in all of your glowy hero-ness.
Legends have spoken of this place, the Sea of Worms.
Case in point.
Waters here are alive and eager to chew through the hulls of our longships. We should sail clear of this place, even if it means crossing Greenland by foot.
Anyway, let's go over to the New World. Go to Newfoundland. But our task will not be quite done at that point. Because these Skraelings have been waiting here all game long. They haven't been doing a whole lot.
The New World. I claim it in the name of Eric the Red. To establish our settlement here, we will need to construct a town center, a market, and 12 houses.
So yeah, that's what we need to do to win the scenario. Eric will leave with the builders, and everyone else can be ready for the Skraeling attack. But first, I wonder what's down here. In Age of Conquerors, there used to be a random woad raider belonging to the Skraelings called the Lonely Hermit, with his own little hut. But they changed that.
Wild men live in these forests, calling themselves the Skraeling. They don't have steel like ours, but they're fierce and they have numbers.
Anyway, who could be over here? It's Bert! We have Bert, guys! In case you don't know Bert, Bert is the first name of Cision, who is the lead developer of FE, Forgotten Empires, the team that made this game. So he appears in all of his Woad Raider self. Send over a transport to pick him up. Also, Algonquin warriors. They used to be Woad Raiders. I mean, the player in-game is still Celts. Like they used to be, because Woad Raiders are their best approximation to to native North Americans. But yeah, now they have their own special unit. That's exactly the same as a Woad Raider, but is visually redesigned as an Algonquin warrior. And they just also have some militia and stuff. Just randomly throwing down houses. Yeah, they have a lot of them. But yeah, that's cool. Also, I think if you click on them, where it says the civilization, it says Skraelings. I don't know how they did that, but it's like they're the Skraeling civilization, quote unquote. But of course, if you look in the diplomacy tab, you'll see that they're actually Celts. It says so in the bottom of the screen. But yeah, that's pretty neat how they did that. I like that. So now we just need to wait for all the houses to finish up. Get wrecked, Skraelings! No match for my berserks! Your Dark Age army is no match for my post-Castle Age army. There we go.
Will never be forgotten as the first Viking in the New World.
Oh yeah, forgot about Bert. We're victorious, yay! So yeah, just looking at the map real quick, Skraelings didn't really have much. They just had a couple barracks where they would produce militia, and then the random town center for no reason. And other than that, we pretty much explored everything. you know, considering that's the whole point of this scenario. British don't really do anything after you raid them. Norway is kind of useless very quickly, and then everything else is on Greenland. You just sail over. I like building a castle just for safety's sake, but probably don't even need it. And that is Vinlandsaga. Let's see what the dudes at the end have to say.
Much of the Viking history is recorded in oral accounts called sagas, passed down through generations. Two of the most famous sagas are reserved for the adventures of Eric the Red and his men, who crossed the mighty sea in tiny ships to forge a new Viking sovereignty. Vinland, as the New World was called, was not kind to the Vikings. Although they lacked the iron weapons of the Norsemen, the native Skraeling were fierce warriors who fought relentlessly to defend their homeland against the Norse invaders. The vastness of the North Atlantic cut the Vikings in Newfoundland off from their homeland, and they suffered many long years while trying to establish their new colony.
Yeah, quick history lesson, that didn't work out so well. Pretty much they had to abandon it because the supply lines were way too long. Because when your closest supply point is Greenland, yeah, that's not so great. So yeah, here are the achievements if you want to take a look at them. And yep, that will be Vinlandsaga. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yep, definitely, you know, leave a like or whatever if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.